All right, look, I'm going to talk a little bit about this thing again here. This is proof of weak hands. Now, what is this? First of all, I'm going to just say right off the bat, when this thing came out, everybody's comparing it to BitConnect. Okay, it is not BitConnect. This is not BitConnect. All right, let me tell you what BitConnect was. BitConnect was one of these scamming lending platforms, right, where they pretended that they were investing, they were doing some kind of Bitcoin trading with a robot or something like that, and that they were taking in money from members, turning it in, and then taking profit and then redistributing it out to the community. Thus, some sort of investment thing where you'd make a certain return. In reality, it was just like a Ponzi scheme. Money in, spread the wealth, whatever, and let it go as long as it's going to go, and then it's going to eventually crash. Everyone's going to go home, right? And they had a lot of YouTubers promoting it, YouTube ads, and a lot of people lost a lot of money in it. People were dumping like life savings into this thing, and then eventually the people at the end, like in most Ponzi's, were left holding the bag. Now, first of all, you're stupid if you invest money that you can't afford to lose. It happens. Now, if you're going to invest money you can't afford to lose, at least realize what you're doing and accept the consequences if it happens. All right? Don't go yelling scam and blah, blah, blah at the end of the line. Let's be adults here. I'm sick and tired of adults acting like little children, because that's when the government comes in and treats us like little children, because then you deserve it. And it's not fair to the people who know what they're doing, accept the risk in order for a high rate of return. But anyway, that thing was what that thing was. Okay, now this here, this, proof of weak hands, this is brilliance. And I'm going to explain why. First of all, this thing is set up on the Ethereum blockchain. It's got its own ERC20 token, right? Utility token, whatever, that is used with this thing. It's set up like an exchange. Now, it's not a real exchange like a traditional exchange in that you come in and you trade all kinds of cryptocurrencies. This thing, it takes in Ethereum. You use Ethereum. It's on the Ethereum blockchain, right? So you buy this P3D token with Ethereum, and now you're in. Now, what it is this is all managed by a smart contract, the dapp, okay, on the Ethereum blockchain, all right? So the smart contract governs everything. So the money that comes in, right, everybody who comes in, who pays in, you buy a certain amount, right? You whatever you're going to put into this, right? Right off the top, 10%, it's like a tax, a fee. That 10% goes into the pool to pay all the members dividends, okay? Now you're in. The token itself has value, and it can rise and fall over time, right? So you buy a certain amount of these tokens with the 40%, okay? And you have that. Now, that can go up, that can go down, right? Like with anything you do in this space, there's risk. Okay, be an adult and realize that if you're going to evolve in something like this. And then if you sell those tokens back to Ethereum, you pay another 10%. So, proof of weak hands. The whole idea of weak hands are people who panic sell. If there's a big panic sell, all those panic sellers, before they get their Ethereum out for dumping this token, they all pay 10%. You pay 10% going in, you pay 10% going out. So all that 10% goes back into the pool of dividends for the people who are still holding, right? So it encourages holding and not panic selling. But if there is a big panic sell, as there was a few days ago, people in the system get all of those windfall, those dividends. It goes in the form of dividends to everybody who's still in, okay? And you know, so anyway, so whatever, if you put in a certain amount and hold it in this system, you're going to get these dividends constantly, okay? And that's how it works. And it's governed, there's no exit scam that we know of, because, I mean, the developers seem on the up and up, and if you read a lot of the stuff that they put out here, it's, it's not written in poor English. I mean, there's a lot of little flags that normally go up with stuff like this. They do market in a tongue-in-cheek fashion, which turns some people off. They talk about, shill kit, shilling the thing. See, it also has a referral thing. Now you don't have to pull anybody into this, but if you buy a certain amount, you get a master node link, and if people join through your master node, you'll see two sets of numbers going out there, 30% or 3%. What it is you get like 30% of that initial 10% cut when they buy in. I think that's how it works. And it's like 3% of the entire thing, like, the entire, what they do in the system. So that's where the 30/3% thing, I made a video where I said 30%, and then I felt like, oh no, it should have been 3%. I should have said, there's a difference there. So anyway, I'm going to look something up. I think somebody put it in words that were very easy to understand. If I could just unlock my phone here and look. I take notes sometimes when someone words something that better than I did for future reference. But I'm not sure. I might not have actually put it in here. No, maybe not. I thought I did. Too bad. Too bad, because it was pretty good. Anyway. So anyway, you get a cut on every exchange fee. Volume-based income, right? Kind of like you buy, but less of a joke. You see, they have a lot of humor in this thing. Weak hands. Mine weak hands, not the blockchain. It's an analogy, right? You're not mining. You're not doing proof of work like with Bitcoin, with heavy-duty computing hardware. You're mining the weak hands. In other words, you're making money on people who panic sell. That 10% exit, it's for everyone whenever you sell. But the whole thing is it encourages holding. If you keep your stuff in the system long enough, you'll hopefully, if there's enough people coming in, enough volume, whatever, you'll make enough money to cover that 10% in, 10% out thing. But if you're a panic seller, whatever, you're mainly going to lose 20%. On the buy-in and the cash out. And then the whole thing is this: your dividends are actually there's no fee on your dividends. The only fee you pay is the regular Ethereum network fee. So when you have I'm not sure. Now I'm not in this for any big amount here. It's only like half an Ethereum, and the value went down because there was a big dump the other day. It's coming back. I have no intention of pulling out earlier, being a weak hand. But you get these dividends, right? Now, if you can reinvest them. Now, reinvestments also get taxed with that 10% because you're buying into the system. But you can let that accumulate and pull that out. You can withdraw that into Ethereum, into like a wallet address. And the only thing you pay is the Ethereum network fee, like you would with any Ethereum transaction. So that's kind of cool. If you could park some money in there, you could just keep earning ETH through this mechanism. It's a lot like cloud mining in a way, but it's more guaranteed. Again, provided nothing happens to the system, it doesn't get hacked. They've the cool thing is they have I don't even know what tab I'm on. What did they do? They should be like that. They hardened it. They had a hackathon against it. They had they took the steps that earlier versions of this didn't take. Earlier versions of this were hacked because they didn't follow the correct protocols. They even ran a test net before releasing this, using a lot of simulated Ethereum, and before they released this thing, because they wanted it to really work this time. So I mean, it's an interesting game. I call it a game. It's a great game to be involved in, and it's decentralized. It's completely decentralized. The front end website here, could be. Now they have like Cloudflare, I think, DDoS protection that they didn't have prior. See, what happened was part of that whole thing the other day with the dump was that there was a hack attempt on the main site. They DDoS'd it in order to simulate an exit scam to cause a massive crash, people dumping the token to get out. because they thought it was either exit scam or some kind of a big hack. And the people who did this were looking to get the dividends, right, because of the 10% out fee. So all those people who panic sold generated a lot of dividends for the people still in here. There's a lot of brilliant, weird manipulation going on in the crypto space. This thing is like a microcosm of the entire crypto market right now. So it's very fun to be in. And actually, the crypto market is so crappy and downtrodden right now that this thing here is actually providing a lot of excitement and entertainment that the regular market's just not doing right now. So, anyway, so my masternode link is below. If you could, you want to check this out, check it out through that. I'd appreciate it. And, have some fun. That's what it's all about, right? Don't bet money you can't afford to lose, but you could go in with very little with this thing. It doesn't take a lot. And you read up on they got a great FAQ, like a manual for this, where they explain everything. It's all out in the open. You can even read the smart contract if you want to. It's all out in the open. It's like an honest version of that other stuff, right? The development team is really cool, and they seem on the up and up. The more I looked into this, I almost passed it by because I was never tempted to be in those other things I mentioned at the beginning of the BitConnect stuff because I knew what they were, and I knew they weren't honest or whatever. This thing here, look, anything can happen, but at this point in time, I feel very comfortable with it. And that's that. It's a really cool thing. So check out my masternode link below and check it out for yourself. That's all I can say. Check it out for yourself. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, pass it by. Simple as that. But it could provide you some gains to offset the losses in the regular crypto world right now to get you through. If anything, it'll provide entertainment value and maybe some nail-biting at times, some excitement, gambling, excitement, whatever, casino-type excitement, whatever. So check it out. Thanks for watching.